All right, it's time for the next episode. So last weekend we went to go pick up these Jeeps. So we're gonna get this one running and the black one running. So today, on this episode of Make It Happen, we're gonna make it happen. Gonna pull this motor out, get it cleaned up, maybe pressure wash the interior. We'll see. So yeah, the goal is today is to get this engine out, cleaned up, and on a stand. So let's make it happen. All right, next step, we're gonna vacuum out all the rat poop, mouse poop, whatever that is. We'll get that off of there. I have the jack stands up and running. Last time I put this thing on jack stands, they just sunk right into the ground and tipped the whole thing over. So now we got some blocks to spread out the weight. The ground is not completely dried yet. Not on the north side of the house here. Okay, what next? We need to disconnect the dust cover on the transmission so we can get to the torque converter bolts, which is right there. Is that it? How do you unbolt that sucker? That looks like one piece. It doesn't look like a dust cover to me. Well, we'll figure out how to get that unbolted from the torque converter. Okay. All right. We'll see on the top side. Well, there is our dust cover right there. It's just not like a traditional dust cover that I'm used to seeing, but there's the two bolts right there. So it takes two bolts on one side, two bolts on the other side, and the two bolts right here connecting it to the transmission. So we got to pull that out so we can get to our torque converter. And then once we get to the torque converter, we're going to mark one of the bolts so that we can match the torque converter back up to the flex plate on the motor, and then that way we stab it in there right the first time. Well, there it is, the dust cover slash transmission brace. I don't know, but it sure was a pain in the butt to get out of there. The Y pipe was too narrow, so it wouldn't slide straight down and it wouldn't tilt out and go either way because the pipe was in the way. Yeah, what a pain in the butt. That was not a good engineering feat on Chrysler's part. All right, I got some red paint, sprayed it on the flex plate, and I made sure I got some on the torque converter so I can line those up when I put this thing back together. Cool. This is not fun. It's dirty. All right, let's get it going. All right, I removed the sensor. I just unbolted it because sometimes it's hard to squeeze those connectors when they're in the wrong position. It's easier just to pull them out, let them hang, and then I can, once I get the motor out, I can pull that off and replace it with a new one before I put the fresh motor in it. Okay, so anyway, so we got that bolt, you can obviously see, and then we got, you know, another one way up there, and I think those are the only two that I'm going to be able to get from down here. That other one is right, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you probably can't, it's just casting a shadow, but it's up there, trust me. And then the same thing on the other side. There's 2 that I can get to from down here and 2 that I can't up top. So I'm going to get the 2 that I can down here, and then I'll get the ones up top afterwards. All right. We can't forget when we're putting this thing back together that they routed these wiring harness, these 2 wires, behind the motor mount and in between the block. Great. Wonderful. That means I can't even pull it out really without pulling that off. Stupid. Okay, let's do it. We gotta do what we gotta do. Let's make it happen. If I remember right, this motor mount system is tricky. Just making sure that I don't have something still connected. It'd be really bad. There it is. Another ground strap. All right, we'll clean that up another day. Let's get this thing put on the engine stand real quick like. What's the green paint splash for? All right. Doesn't look like that rear seal is bad. There's nothing coming out of there. Nice. It's going to get a new one anyway. Get her up onto the engine stand. Yeah, this container's got to be 35 years old or so. All right, it's on the stand now. I'm gonna go through it and take a look. If you can see, still got good crosshatch on it. That's where the valve hit, right there. The rear seal was not leaking. That oil down there is from something else. Some carbon in the cylinders. These ones are a little bit cleaner yet. These are the ones that had the blown head gasket somewhere. What we're going to end up doing is cleaning this motor up and then just refresh it. Seals, rings, give it a little bit of a refresh on the crosshatch in the cylinders. It's going to get all new timing gears. You know how the story goes. Paint it black. Most likely, and I really wanted those HO heads off the other motor that I picked up, but one of them is too badly damaged, it cannot be fixed. I might just go ahead and steal the cams out of it and put it in here, the HO cams. Well, I wish I could have used the heads, but one of them is really bad. It's busted to pieces, so anyway. I guess we'll just call this a video. Try to make it somewhat entertaining for you. Next video I'm going to make is just to get this engine apart, cleaned up. Most likely tomorrow I'm going to pull it apart, pressure wash it, clean it, maybe paint it, all that good stuff. So, you guys take it easy, like and subscribe.